It didn't last long here for Bitcoin, and let me tell you, ladies and gents, I actually think that this is a very, very good thing for the markets. I'm going to be diving into this with you in this YouTube video, and while you're here, let me let you know about these phenomenal offers linked down below. You're getting up to $30,000 when you trade on Bybit, linked in the description below, which is absolutely sick, and Apex is their decentralized sister exchange, well worth checking out. Blowfin, phenomenal alternative with thousands of dollars in bonuses. We'll come back to that in a little bit, but look at this right here. And while you are down there, just make sure you're checking your country's local laws and regulations. But take a look at this. We've started to dip down a little bit here. We're now down into the $62,000 price range. We have considerably, beautifully set a new higher high here. English is escaping me today, but bear with me. I'll get it back soon. And we're now coming back down to a very important level of support in this market. And that's actually why I think this is a really good thing. It's a combination of a couple of things. I'm going to show this to you with a little bit of data as well. If we bring it over to the Fear and Greed Index here, we got a reading of 50. When this updates in about 7 hours, I strongly expect this to drop down somewhere toward fearful territory. That doesn't mean that I'm saying we're going to be dropping down to 25 or 30 or anything like that. But, you know, even if we drop down to 42, 44 even, that is going to be a nice kind of shift in sentiment, where what I've noticed, and we're going to see this on Twitter today, is that a lot of people are just hopelessly kind of misguided about what's going on in the market, and they're actually really upset about this crash that we've been seeing. I mean, so far, everything on my timeline is pretty much Iran and Israel related, and we will be talking about that a little bit because that's a kind of major point that that a lot of people are talking about right now. I don't know where I don't know where my tweets have gone. They've all disappeared, but that is obviously something that's been grabbing headlines, and it could be an explanation for this drop. I think we're only going to know that if the S&P 500 drops, and quite frankly, the S&P 500 is not really dropping that much, right? I mean, this is a little bit of a drop, but it's literally at all-time highs. I've got a lot of tolerance for something like this. I'm okay with it. The US dollar is up, and honestly, I think without even looking further at technical analysis, this is going to be the sole and primary reason for Bitcoin seeing a drop right now. I literally don't think it goes any further than that. There is an incredibly clear inverse correlation between Bitcoin and the dollar, where when the dollar goes up, Bitcoin goes down. That's what's happening right now. And if you just trace this back, you'll see tons and tons and tons of data over the last years suggesting that if the dollar goes up, it means trouble for Bitcoin. So we could literally just end the video here, but obviously that's not what we're going to do. There are tons of trading opportunities that open up because of this, and that's what I'm most interested in. But I do think that it's important just for us to know that, look, this is not something crypto related. This is clearly more geopolitical or whatever the hell you want to call it. But let's bring it back to the Bitcoin chart anyway, because it does tell us some very beautiful stories anyway. Like I said, first of all, we have managed to punch above that high, which means that we're solid, we're in an uptrend, and any retracement now, for me, what I'm most interested in is seeing if it kind of returns down to important support levels, and then more importantly, does sentiment start kind of getting really sour, right? Because if we see sentiment getting really weak, if we see people getting really upset and scared and like, you know, I told you so, we're going to be dropping and so on and so forth, if we see a lot of that before Bitcoin even drops below 60K, then to me, that's going to be, what's the opposite of premature celebration? It's going to be like premature uncelebration or something, just like celebration of losing, basically, where nothing has actually happened, right? I mean, the market is in an incredibly strong, stable position until it goes below 50K, I'm sorry, 60K in my view. You know, even 58, we got tolerance down to 58 as far as I'm concerned. We're in a very strong position. And so if people start getting really upset before we lose these key levels like 58, you know, to me, it's just the typical, you know, at the highs, we're very bullish, and at the lows, we're very bearish, and then, you know, the market keeps going. You know, it's very typical. We've seen it a million times. So as far as support goes, we failed the $63,000 support level. We weren't able to find support off that level. In fact, we bounced off it a little bit, and then we just plunged straight into the crypto abyss. Where is Crypto Kirby, man? Where's Crypto Kirby? We plunged straight into the crypto abyss there, and now we have a ton more support for Bitcoin to enjoy here. Look at this green box. Phenomenal price range for Bitcoin. lots and lots of support hits, some pretty reasonable rejection hits as well. Clearly a very important level in the market, and we haven't even hit it yet. So I think that we're looking pretty damn sweet. It's just like I said in my last video, I got tolerance for Bitcoin to drop down. There's lots of support down here, and I would love to see Bitcoin using it. It just makes the continuation of the rally, it makes it even more likely, it makes it even more explosive in my experience. So daily EMA ribbon, we got support all the way down to about 61.5. I don't think that this is the best EMA ribbon for Bitcoin because it doesn't have a massive spread, but there is a spread on the top EMAs, so yeah, it's still relevant, I think. I'm not going to put too much weight on this, but it does look interesting to say the least. If we do take a look at this with the Ichimoku cloud, we've only just fallen into it on the 4 hour. So, this is more evidence that while everybody else is starting to get scared because, oh my god, we're dropping below 62 or whatever the fucking headline is right now, the reality is that we've only just started to hit our support levels. And support, for me, like, I like to make money, right? A lot of other people, they like to get in a circle, fucking jerk each other off, and just tell each other that they're going to the moon and their fucking shitcoin bags are going to pump 10x or whatever in the next couple of weeks because the devs are not going to dump on them this time. Me, I like to make money, okay? And if I like to make money, I got to play things a little bit differently, and that means I get bullish at support levels. I know it's crazy. It's absolutely fucking revolutionary, but yes, I get bullish at support levels, and I get bearish at resistance levels, okay? And so we have only just started to hit support now, and it stretches down very nicely. I mean, this Ichimoku cloud itself comes all the way down to 59.8, which I think would be a phenomenal bottom for Bitcoin right here. I mean, people are already so scared. Let's let this dip mature a little bit more and then send it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that to me is what would make so much sense on this chart. I obviously think that it gets a lot deeper than this, and we're going to have to look at traditional finance and just all the other shit going on in the world. I'm going to start with that by just pulling up this tweet right here on Twitter. Again, I had opened them all up. I don't know where they're gone, but here we've got Ardazor. Do you know what October is? This is the exact time when bull markets historically begin. Many alts explode. Every $100 invested today equals $10,000 next year. Yeah, I mean, crypto Twitter, right? What can you say? But this person is actually correct. I mean, mostly correct. Yes, October is typically a really nice time of year for the market, and we're clearly doing something very similar to the previous Octobers, where you have a kind of bearish September, and then you set yourself up for some really nice pumps. So October has only just begun. Everybody is making memes about how October is a bearish month. Yeah, I'm not concerned about this at all. I maintain my bullish bias. I'm very strong about my bullish bias, and I firmly believe, wow, it looks like it looks like it's just it's going off right now. So I guess, I mean, and you're watching me read this, with you. I mean, what is this? This was posted 11 minutes ago, 22 minutes ago. My whole timeline's full of it. Fucking hell, you can't get away from this shit. But yeah, I think, there's obviously going to already start being some memes about, October being a bearish month. I'm not concerned about that at all. To me, as far as price action is concerned, we're having a nice standard pullback at a very, very good time. We swept the high. Now we're pulling back. It would be worse, in my opinion, if we topped out here, which means a double top, and then we came back down, right? At least this tells us, like, we're still in the game. We're just coming for a little bit of a pit stop, and then we're going to continue, right? That's what this is telling me, at least in this market. If we take a look at Bitcoin's dominance, we're seeing it shoot back up. So all those victory laps that those Twitter degenerates you follow, we're starting to take. That's not looking great anymore. We're seeing a sea of red right here. Bitcoin's down by 2%, but your favorite resident altcoin down by about 5%. So, it is what it is. It's pretty standard at this point. I think that the Bitcoin dominance is going to keep rising up. I don't think it's done anytime soon. In other words, Ethereum against Bitcoin also not looking great. Seeing another rejection here. We got a rejection here and a rejection here. And might I remind you that this area was providing support to Ethereum only as recently as August and September. So really, really clear signs right now. I mean, look, this could change, right? I mean, Ethereum could easily pull something like this off. That would, it would not be the first time that that's happened, even within this downtrend. However, I think overall it's not looking good, bruv. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. To quote the Castellio or whatever his name is, it's not looking good, bruv. That's all I can say there. So I think that's the Ethereum picture, the altcoins, the Bitcoin. Again, for me, it's going to come down to the S&P 500 in large part, and there's a little bit that it can drop until it starts kind of capturing some really nice support down in this zone. What would that mean for Bitcoin? I don't know, maybe a $59,000 Bitcoin, something like that. I'd love to see it come below 60K. I mean, just seeing how scared people became over this little bit of price action, it has made me very interested in, you know, how bad things can get if Bitcoin drops lower, because as far as markets are concerned, it's very efficient if you can wash out those weak hands and, you know, move those Bitcoins into the hands of people that are not going to sell it so easily. Basically take it out of the hands of people that are fearful, put it into the hands of people that are patient. You know, that is how you start locking up supply. You know, patient people don't sell, and if people don't sell, the price can go up. So it's pretty straightforward. This is how markets wash out, and this is how markets move up, and that's why you don't see a shred of concern on my face. This is all standard procedure so far as I'm concerned. As far as trading opportunities goes, this opens up the best one. You know, I think that there's great long positions that are going to be, you know, attainable here in this market. You know, I think that, you know, kind of 60,400 looks like a really nice kind of potential entry, something a little bit like this, maybe targeting 65 with a stop loss. I would want my stop loss below 58, to be honest, so I might even consider entering a little bit lower. But I think if I was entering in the 60K range, I'd probably have to keep a pretty tight stop loss at about 59, but that's not too bad. That's a 3x risk to reward, 7% on the upside, 2.5 on the downside. That's an 8x leverage trade easily, you know, 7x easily, with a lot of upside, minimum 30% profit. With the numbers that I was just describing there. I don't know if I'll actually trade that. I'll keep you guys updated, but any trades that you guys want to make, definitely make sure that you're checking out these exchanges linked below. Bybit's the best in the game. You know about them. You've heard about them. They're on the F1 Red Bull cars. They win every single race in the F1, and they win every single metric of being an exchange in the crypto space as well. So #1 across every field that they enter. You need to check them out if you're not already on Bybit. And you're going to get a ton of cash when you start trading using these links right here on screen. Bluefin, again, a phenomenal alternative, well worth checking out. They haven't white labeled any technology. They've built everything on their own, and they are doing incredibly well with strong volumes. All well worth checking out with the tons of bonuses that you get when you start trading. And of course, as usual, just make sure that you are abiding to your local country's laws and regulations here. Very, very important indeed. Let's take a look at a couple other tweets. One of the others that is kind of outdated, but you know, almost like a flagship that a lot of people were looking at here. You know, just with these massive fucking missiles. Iran is preparing imminent missile attacks on Israel. I'm trying not to get demonetized here, so I probably shouldn't say these words too much, but clearly shit's going down right now, and I guess that's a good time to be in the markets. I don't know, but yeah, it's pretty wild right now, and yeah, and I think that I think that could definitely start having some effect on these markets. But if we take a look at Donald Trump right here, we've got Trump talking about crypto, now partnering up with World Liberty Fi. This looks absurdly like a scam. You know, I had to check his handle twice and ensure that this is the real Donald Trump, because verification doesn't mean as much as it used to anymore either. But yeah, he's pushing something. He's clearly gotten a nice paycheck. Didn't know that you can still sponsor Trump for tweets, but there you go. Trump has entered crypto Twitter. Who would have thought? Back to the charts though, we've got Elia, if I pronounced that correctly, saying the Bitcoin bull run is not over, stack in dips and relax. We've got a very, very bullish logarithmic chart with a nice diagonal line here, showing that Bitcoin continues to find support off this very, very tried and tested 11-year support level, or diagonal level, I should say. So if you think that this deserves any attention, then this is probably pretty good news for you. I don't really care, but I do see it. I do understand. And yeah, it's another reason for me to be bullish. It's not like I need more. I got a lot of reasons to be bullish in this market, but fuck it. I'll take another one if the market is giving it to me. Overall, pretty good stance, ladies and gentlemen. I think in order to turn this thing very bullish again, we've just got to sweep the high. Very straightforward. Get above this high, 67. I don't think is going to be a big problem. Smash through it, all-time highs. There you go. You know, just typical, perfect Bitcoin price action as far as I'm concerned. Very, very happy with this. Honestly, couldn't have asked for anything better. Probably would have been nice to just pump straight through, but God always has a plan, and the scenic route always pays us a little bit more. So there you go, ladies and gents. Hope you've enjoyed this one. You know what to do. If you have, subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff, and I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers.